With AT&T, take your U.S. plan to Mexico at no extra charge. When you choose an eligible plan, place calls, send text, and enjoy your plan data in Mexico like in the U.S. It's that easy. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Subject to plan rates, terms, international fees, overage charges, or data speeds. Restrictions apply. See store for plan details.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pot dolls.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Gingy. Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
Have you checked the children?
Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Look, just a flesh wound.
Hello, Flesh Wound Radio freaks. I am Daniel Schein, joined as always by Todd Loya. We welcome you to a brand new episode of Horror Society Presents Flesh Wound Radio. Todd, how goes the day?
I would say so far so good, and I didn't mention this when we talked before the air. I got a ticket this morning taking the kid to school. I was not happy.
Wow. How bad was it?
You know, I looked up the fees, and it's a couple hundred if I don't find it, but we'll see. I was just like, okay, got to take it, got to go, I got to get the kid to school. No time to argue.
Yeah, that sucks. My father, who's maybe had 2 tickets his entire life, was able to challenge one, I remember, and get it changed. I can't remember all the details, but he did fight it. It can happen. Actually, I think a lot of it depends whether the actual cop shows up or not.
Yeah.
Because the second time he had the asshole cop from hell that got him on some really weird technicality, and he showed up, and that time it didn't work. So,
yeah.
I don't know. You might have a shot, but that definitely sucks.
And I noticed the code was one number off. It should have been a 01, not a 02. 02 involves a highway, and this was not on a highway. So I'm like, maybe I can loophole out of it.
You might be able to. I don't know. I don't know too much about California police, but at least they didn't shoot you in the face.
I was going to say, there's a few songs by him. You can look up the early NWA catalog, etc.
Yeah, I think, you'll be blasting Ice-T, I think, for a while. But, no, that sucks, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good day, though. I can't complain too much. Actually, I won't say who he is, but I got to talk to a notable horror person connected to an 80s film in particular that's very well regarded, and he gave me some good advice on my current legal issues over a project. So it was.
I'm sure that was arranged by Horror Society's own Mr. McGibbon. Would I be correct in that one?
Yeah, it was, and I don't think he would care under the circumstances, but for revealing that. But yeah, no, he had some pretty good advice. It's actually been an interesting journey. I wish I could talk more about this in the open. I know there's some people that kind of have the gist of it, but it's an interesting story, sad story. Going back a ways, there's even some funny stories, but it's definitely a movie. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it at some point. It may happen sooner rather than later, the way things are going. But it's interesting. It's very interesting to say the least. And I just wish people made things easier and just would be honest about stuff. It sucks, but we're downers today, man. Other than that, it was the day.
Yeah, I'm not even in a bad mood after my ticket. I was just like, yeah, it happens. It's like my second one ever. It's not like a regular occurrence, so.
Yeah. 200 seems steep for that.
School. It was a school zone.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't have experience with that, so I can't really say what the fines are. But I was like, 200 kind of sounds like when you've done it multiple times the last month or something. But
no, but our state's broke. Thank you, Mr. Schwarzenegger.
yeah, I know California's got it bad. West Virginia is pretty fucked up too. I can't complain too much about the cops. I mean, I know one. We play cards with them. He's a pretty good dude, but there's a lot of corruption out here in particular. I have even been told that there's not supposed to be a quota, but there is a quota, an unwritten quota on such things. So it does suck, but
I guess law enforcement does tie into one of our reviews later on.
Yeah, it kind of does. Wolfcop wouldn't have given you a ticket, man. They would have just given you a cool one-liner and, driven right off. He doesn't care, especially at the beginning of that movie, which we'll get into.
Yeah. I could have just handed him some booze and he would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. Buy him a bottle of Jack and he would have been just fine. But but yes, that was our day. I'm still pretty excited. I'm still looking forward to a move. A lot of possibilities are popping up. I can't imagine it'll happen this year, but I am looking forward to hitting bright, sandy beaches, or at least being closer to bright, sandy beaches and warm weather. Although, surprisingly enough, the last couple of days have been pretty nice here, so I can't complain too much. But anyways, that's our boring live. Always got to throw that out there at the beginning. But yes, so Todd, I'll let you kick off the news. We have a couple alarming news bits, unfortunately.
Yes, I guess. Geez, I know. Is this going to be our downer show tonight? Well, I guess we'll sort of
fried green tomatoes, or I guess that's sad. I don't know. That's our addition tonight.
Well, it was reported earlier today that horror icon Sid Haig is in the hospital. There's no real specifics right now, but he was forced to cancel his appearance at this weekend's Monster Mania convention in New Jersey due to a health issue that requires hospitalization. So we don't really know what's going on right now, but we're hoping, of course we're hoping for a speedy recovery, but it's not been a good month for celebrities, I guess, with Harrison Ford and Leonard Nimoy. And now we're off to one we have a little bit more news on, and this is happened last week. Actor Robert Carradine, who most know from the 80s classic Revenge of the Nerds, and for horror, there's Body Bags. I know he was in Humanoids of the Deep, the TV one. There you go. And I know he's in the upcoming, Piranha, Conda Terra, something, I don't know. One of the newest sci-fi.
Quite a few horror movies. Lots of Corman stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, oh, I know he did Body Bags, and then I was looking, I was like, he did it quite more than I remember. But last week he had a head-on collision, and him and his wife, and they're both. It says it was a near fatal accident. They're both still. It wasn't fatal, near fatal. There's no new update on the medical condition, but I know it was a serious accident. If you've seen any of the pictures, it looks bad, and it was a head-on collision with a semi. So, hoping for another speedy recovery. Just not a good month, I guess.
Well,
okay.
Ford was okay, so you gotta look on the bright side. At least we have some good news. I haven't really heard an update on Ford, if that affected any Star Wars shooting or not.
Yeah, well, despite all information, Boba Fett was not responsible for the crash.
Hey, like I said, lots of Air Force One related jokes. I didn't have any last week, and I got to confess I don't have any this week. But soon you will get a whopper of a one-liner.
I had the Star Wars one, so at least we got something covered in those. We
got something.
Okay. Yeah, and now on to, I don't know if this is better news, but we have more Leatherface casting news. I guess earlier today it was reported that Angela Bettis was in talks to play the mother of Jackson, the young man who would grow up to become Leatherface. And he's being played by Sam Strike. Okay, well, and now that there's a little bit, changes a bit. The Wrap is reporting James Blore is in final negotiations to join the Leatherface cast. According to the site, Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel is presented as a mystery of sorts about three teenage psychopaths, one who grows up to be Leatherface. Blore will play Ike, a budding young maniac who, like Stryker's character, also grows up to potentially wield the iconic chainsaw. It's unclear if there will be multiple actors playing Leatherface or whether we'll see the character at different stages of his life in the film. So, that's what we got for that. So, I know the news broke earlier this week that we're going to have possibly three Leatherfaces. I don't know what I'm thinking about this one at this point.
Whoa!
I'm excited about Angela Bettis. I mean, I love Angela Bettis in pretty much everything she's done. It's been a while since been a while since we've seen May herself.
The Woman, I think, was the last big thing she did.
Yeah,
so,
that would have been.
I mean, I don't know quite what to think about this one. Obviously, it's going to be different. I still love the team behind it. I can't quite imagine it being a piece of crap. But then again, there have been filmmakers that have had great success before and kind of go mainstream Hollywood. One Missed Call remake, for example. I can't remember the director's name, but hopefully it won't turn out to be a situation like that. I think it'll be solid. I don't know. You're the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fanatic, though, so I know you've got to be pretty concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish they would have just followed 3D. I really do. I mean, it seems like the logical step. I mean, I get why when we had the fictitious Hewitt family. I'm not a fan of theirs. I'm a Sawyer guy. With the Hewitt family, I mean, they had to go that route and do a prequel after because they kind of one-armed Leatherface. So they didn't have to do that. I would have much rather just seen, let's keep going. Some chainsaw fun. I mean, they had it all set up to keep going. Kind of also would have went that route. It makes the most sense. I mean, why make things more complicated? And it seems like Leatherface still had the audiences there. I mean, it did much better than the Friday the 13th remake. I mean, because we kind of talked about the slasher genre in general, not really having a great audience, but even with the timeline complaints of the 3D take, still seemed to keep audiences going. So I don't know. We'll see if it's a misstep or not. It seems like everyone's trying to relaunch and restart the franchise. We got this Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Segues, into another news bit actually. It's like I said. I always go in with an open mind for every movie. I mean, what else are you going to do? This one, I try and hold on to the good. Angela Bettis, awesome news. The team behind it, inside one of the great horror films of the last decade. So, you got to look at the good. I don't know. I have a very strong feeling this is going to be greatly, greatly different, and I don't know. But this does segue into another news bit that, it got national coverage all over the place this last week or so whenever it broke. And that is Sony is apparently going to be doing not one, but two different Ghostbusters reboots, I guess we'll call it. Of course, as everybody knows, Paul Feig of Bridesmaids is doing his Ghostbusters with an all-female cast, including Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. But now, apparently, there is going to be another version that is going to feature Channing Tatum, who is also producing, apparently, and I guess we can only assume Channing Tatum's going to be the star of that one, but we'll see. So, kind of an interesting question here. I don't know. It's very weird now with going into the fantasy side of things as far as Spider-Man, now that they're apparently rebooting that yet again, which I have not seen the most recent one, but that just seems to be insane to do a third reboot of Spider-Man so soon.
I did see the first Amazing Spider-Man. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah. So, I saw the first one. I'm not particularly a Spider-Man fan. I mean, it was a decent movie. Dennis Leary was good.
Yeah.
But it just seems like even if the sequel wasn't perfect, it's awfully dramatic to just reboot it that fast. And I don't know. It's like two Ghostbusters at the same time. I certainly hope. I have a very clear idea in my head of what the Paul Feig one's going to look like, and I don't think it's going to satisfy old school Ghostbusters fans. Yeah. I think it's going to be very, very mainstream, potentially funny for people that maybe don't care about the original films and tone, but I think it's going to be, I don't know, I could see that one being pretty ugly. And again, open mind, I certainly hope that's not the case. I don't know. Channing Tatum, I've seen him in a couple of things where he was okay, but he seems like a very blah choice to headline a new Ghostbusters. His comedy's not bad. I don't think much of him as an actor, but it would really suck if we get two sort of Green Hornet style reboots at once. Which is the most wretched example of a movie I can come up with. I really hope it's not that tone. But Todd, what do you think about this?
I want to know which one's going to have the monkey or the gorilla. In all seriousness, I kind of wish Asylum would partner up with the Filmation Ghostbusters, do their own take on it. Be like, what? It's Ghostbusters. You can't say shit. They do the monkey with it. And then make them call their movie The Real Ghostbusters, like the old cartoons. I don't know.
I mean, right now, Tatum, Jonah Hill,
yep,
Danny McBride. I don't know, Jesse Eisenberg, something. Not Jesse Eisenberg. That other string being dude. I don't know.
No.
Michael Cera.
Michael
Cera. I'm looking.
You got to go with someone of color. I'm going Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's true. Yes, to complete the reboot shit pickle. Kevin Hart. Yeah, let's just throw in everybody. I don't know. Maybe Will Ferrell. I don't know, but I just really have a bad feeling that these guys are going in completely the wrong direction with it. I mean, obviously Ghostbusters is supposed to be funny, and some people could argue, well, why you care that there's comedians being cast, but goddamn, I have a strong feeling with this in particular that Hollywood's going to fuck it up and get it wrong. Yeah,
well, I mean, the problem is, and I know I said it, we said it, Hollywood is, the movies have gotten so expensive, they're so afraid to take any kind of chance. It has to hit every key demo, it has to make everyone happy, it can't be too edgy and get an R. It's just so hard to satisfy everyone. And then half the time you end up satisfying no one. I mean, average audience like, yeah, it was okay. The diehards like, oh, it sucked. Most of the time that's what they're going to say. So you got to kind of, the key is to make something the diehards are going to enjoy and the audience, the general audience, will enjoy.
That's why I would throw it out there, because I don't think we're ever going to get Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson headlining a major Hollywood Ghostbusters movie. But if they could at least maybe get them in there, I know it's been thrown out before about maybe their kids would be somehow taking on the mantle or something and just do an actual follow-up to Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is something that I feel they could get right if they really truly want to. Because it's a PG. Ghostbusters is PG-13. You're not looking at something where it's like, okay, we're just gonna, it's not a gore fest. It's something that should just be. I think it should be taken seriously. I hope it's not just all stupid jokes and I don't know. Like I said, Seth Rogen might be involved. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't want to see
every mainstream comedian and comic actor right now is 50-50 at best. Even the talented ones. It's just a Hollywood comedy. It's very rare. I just watched Horrible Bosses 2, and I almost couldn't finish it. There was maybe 2 laughs in that entire film.
I enjoyed the first one. But I'm with you. I enjoyed the first one, but I'm with you on the second. I just don't want to see Superbad with proton packs. That's not what I want out of Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I don't mind Jonah Hill too much, but I don't know. There's no sense being overly negative. I think the all-female cast, which I'm fine with. I'm not necessarily hating on that. It's just who they cast, the director, and the type of movie I see that being. I don't see a single serious moment in Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. I think that's just going to be, I don't know, Night at the Museum style hijinks for kids, and it's just not going to satisfy anyone, except like I said, maybe young kids that just don't give a crap about the first movies. But
yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
There was the second one, not the most well liked of the series.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing how it turns out. I don't know too much about Channing Tatum. The movies I've seen him in, White House Down, kind of mediocre. He was fairly funny in 21 Jump Street, but he just seems to be a fairly blah, pretty boy type actor. I don't know.
He's more of the straight. He's more of the straight man to Jonah Hill's, not.
That was also a wretched sequel. 21 Jump Street wasn't bad, but 22 Jump Street was another goal. Hollywood comedies lately, my God.
I did laugh for some of the inside jokes about all the little sequel jokes peppered throughout. How
they kind of beat that to death, though, in my opinion. Yeah, it just wasn't funny.
That's what the part we get to. The first couple were good, and then after, I did like. I will admit, I liked the end where they showed all the future installments. That was kind of funny. I got a couple laughs out of those. But what I could say, there's a couple inside jokes and some little cards at the end that made me laugh. So that middle 90 minutes should have made me laugh a bit more.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm lucky. Now, the interview I did think was actually really funny. Surprisingly enough. And that's really the only recent one that I can remember out of Hollywood that truly made me laugh. So, hopefully, like I said, they really keep that tone where we still have a somewhat serious horror film with good character development and, not just old, tired jokes. I don't even know if Melissa McCarthy has made a funny movie outside of Bridesmaids, because I think I watched The Heat. Wasn't that funny? Can't even think of what the other one was called, but that wasn't funny.
Identity Thief?
Yeah, that one, and I thought I saw another one that I didn't even finish. It's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of people that haven't been that dependable on the big screen, but I don't know. We'll see. I know Kristen Wiig's done some serious work, so it's possible. Probably not, but we can hope, and we will see. Well, a couple other brief news bits for you guys. There's a new horror fantasy flick called Great Wall, and it's got a hell of a cast. Apparently, hell of an international cast. This is going to be starring, a series of very well-known Chinese stars, including Andy Lau, Jing Tin, Eddie Peng, Lu Han, Zhang Kai. I think I actually pronounced all those right. I'm proud of myself. And it is now also going to be, it's also going to feature Matt Damon, Pedro Pascal, Willem Dafoe, and a hell of a cast. The story follows a soldier who's traveling with a group of mercenaries in China in order to bring gunpowder back to Europe. And when the group is attacked by mystical beasts, the man finds himself in a war between a secret warrior clan and the beasts. Kind of unique. Matt Damon seems to be a name that seems kind of odd for this particular movie, but I don't know. We'll see. Willem Dafoe. There's a lot of great Asian actors in that. I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like. We do actually have another. I haven't heard an update in a while, but another Hollywood horror film that doesn't feature a ghost or found footage called Bone Tomahawk. We reported on that one a while back, which I know Kurt Russell, quite a few big stars are attached to that, and it's a cannibal flick. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get a couple different types of horror films up there, because it seems like the longest stretch of just ghost stuff lately.
Yeah.
It's just, that's probably maybe why I am looking forward to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even if it goes into a totally different direction, because at least it's not a fucking ghost flick.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that'll be the next direction for Leatherface, Ghostface. Oh wait, never mind. The one thing, no matter what I think will come out of this, I think we'll get a good movie, but it could leave me one of those cases like, say, Rob Zombie's Halloween, where I'm like, I liked it, except for, I wish Leatherface wasn't in it, or like with the Michael Myers stuff, I wish it wasn't the character of Michael Myers because it didn't fit for him. But I liked, the Rob Zombie Halloween. It's just till we get to Michael Myers, he doesn't work. Or with the second one, I was more interested in Laurie's story versus the Michael stuff. I'm like, why do we need Michael in this one? So I don't know if it's going to be a case of that. Like, it was a great movie, but it shouldn't have been the character of Leatherface. It could. I like him more mysterious, but that's how I am with most of the icons, except for Freddy. That's the one. Though his backstory's been covered, but I would have always, and I still do, would like to see, the Robert Englund prequel. And I don't mean the episode of Freddy's Nightmares. It actually follows the story. So, I don't know. We'll see. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, we will see. At least there's a couple more interesting, less standard flicks possibly coming our way on the big screen. And that's basically all we have as far as news goes. And a couple other minor bits, but nothing worth noting. So with that being said, into our reviews, Todd, we didn't have anything as far as release dates. Oh, actually, did we want to talk about the Rabid Grannies situation?
I was going to mention that. I'll just do this real quick because I do have it en route. So I will say that there's been the people who have actually gotten a hold of the disc because it shipped late from everywhere pretty much.
Yeah, I just got it myself.
Oh, you did just get it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still waiting on mine. Mine should be here supposedly Monday. But yeah, the transfer for the producer's cut, which is the cut everyone's been looking forward to, is basically the one off the German disc, and it looks bad. And they used half of the Blu Ray space. It's 11 gigabytes of the 22 available. It just all around, it sounds like a really botched release, which really sucks because Troma's been doing quite well lately with their track record of Blu Ray releases. So I guess we'll touch upon that one next week in our news. Maybe we'll do a full-on review. We haven't really discussed it.
Yeah, we can probably cover that next week. Quick question though, just in case, because some people might be looking into buying it, or maybe already bought it. If you're me, it's not. Is it cut? Or did I misunderstand that?
Okay, well, there's a few different versions, and the disc contains two versions, which is the producer's cut and the Troma cut, which is the Troma cut's definitely cut. It looks like there's some frame rate issues where it runs faster than the German disc, but it's still the producer's cut. And while it's cut in terms of is everything shot there, no. It's not the full uncut version, but there's a couple things I guess the producer took out for pacing reasons. But it's not truly, it depends how you look at it. Yes, it's cut, but it's the producer's cut. It's not missing the gore, from what I've heard. We'll get into that.
We'll confirm all this. Yeah, we'll confirm all this next week. But you may want to wait on Rabid Grannies for now, unless. I personally really liked the film, so I almost canceled it. But I thought, I do want it, and I don't think they're going to correct it. But we'll see.
I know,
I doubt it.
And it would have bothered me. I had a gap in the Troma collection. I did actually just place an order with Troma to fill in a few gaps I had over there. So
I figured you had pretty much no choice. I don't collect everything from Troma, but then again, it's Rabid Grannies, and I need me Rabid Grannies. It's one of the better films from their catalog, and flawed or not, I did pick it up. So, but yes, on to our our film, now that we threw that warning out there for you. Our first review for the evening is Dark Hall, the brand spanking new creature feature from Scream Factory. And this follows a cryptic prophecy which divides a team of secretive guardians as they attempt to transport a deadly creature and its half-human sister in an 18-wheeler truck to a more secure location. But a hidden agenda undermines their mission, releasing the beast, and they end up battling for the fate of the world when the true meaning of the prophecy is discovered. Okay, so this is, again, new film from Scream Factory. This isn't a retro release from them, which, for Scream Factory, their new releases tend to be 50-50. There's probably only been one that I would have said was truly, truly awful that I can think of off the top of my head. But for the most part, they've been okay. Remain, I'm curious, if I recall.
Okay.
Remain. Okay. That's from what I recall. There might be one other one. I don't know, but that's the only one I really remember thinking, that wasn't very good, especially for the premise. But yes, I mean, this film opens in 1735 in the Pine Barrens, and you kind of see this woman who gives birth to this creature and his mostly human-looking sister, minus the tail, and it starts off pretty interesting, to be honest. I in fact, I'll kind of go with the good first here. There's not a whole lot of it, but there is some. The script is a bit of a mess, but it's one of those films where I really felt that there was some interesting things going on that they just didn't have the budget or the time to pull off. I'm not sure what went wrong. It's not really just a monster on a truck flick, which is really all I was expecting from the sci-fi label. In fact, there's even another similar one called Ice Road Terror out there. So it's not even that gimmick's not even totally original. So yeah, I mean, the problem with this film is there's a lot going on. Not a whole lot of backstory, motivation for why any of this is going on. The creature looks good in the shadow. The creature was one issue I had because, by God, did it change throughout the movie. The beginning, all is good. It's in the shadows, and it's fine. Nothing to complain about. I'm thinking, okay, well, this is okay, Sci-Fi Channel style shenanigans. When they give a full reveal, particularly when it tears this woman's torso off, it literally looks like a cartoon. I mean, something I would literally see in Evil Tunes, circa 1990.
I'm so waiting to quote Fredo and Ray with shit pickle on this one, so I'm just throwing it out there now since you brought it up. I was thinking, Evil Tunes.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, that is a fucking cartoon. That's not even shoddy CGI. That is a fucking cartoon, which is really bizarre because later in the movie, it's practical, and it actually looks okay. So I was sitting there thinking, what the hell? You have the pretty cool man in a suit style creature at the end, but you have at least a few shots where you show a full-on fucking cartoon killing people. That didn't work. That really hurt the film, in my opinion. There are good ideas here again. I really thought the Halo idea where the creature induces hallucinations, that in a better horror movie, that was a great idea that really might have added some tension. This film's never scary, unfortunately. And it's sad because, like I said, it's a mess, but it's one of those messes where I feel like there might have been a decent movie somewhere there. There are a couple decent kills. The eyeball poked through the head was kind of cool, and there were a couple okay kills that save it from being completely wretched. But unfortunately, it's one of those films that just really fails. at the end of the day. It seemed like Tom Sizemore was sleepwalking.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Todd, what did you think? I think you even hated it more.
I did. I mean, and I like Tom Sizemore, but he definitely wasn't pulling out his natural born killer's performance in this one.
I had the pleasure of meeting him once. He's actually a nice guy, surprisingly enough.
Did he make you pinch his nipple, or is that just Mallory?
No, he did not, fortunately. He was actually I met him at Chiller. He was a nice guy to my niece. It seemed to be not fucked up from what I could tell, so at least he's doing better, but doing B movies now, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, at least he's not doing the porn or whatever. Didn't he have the porn tape come out? I think that was him.
Yeah, watch that one if you want to laugh. It's not quite as epic as the Saved by the Smell Screech tape, but it's still pretty sad.
Yeah, I really don't know why Scream Factory picked this one up. It just did they learn nothing from Animal? I mean, we had the pure, man in his suit in that one. This one,
and Animal's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
We had
the director on. Yes, that was on previous show. Yeah, it was just, it felt like a mess. I found myself checking the time. I was like, okay, are we... I know some people are saying, if the creature would have been all practical, this could have been saved. I don't know about that. I think we still would have been giving it a negative review, telling you if you really want to see it, rent it first, don't rush out and buy it. I don't think that would have changed. It's hard for me to be positive about. Yes, there were some good ideas, but they're putting this on the Scream Factory line. Yeah, putting this on the Scream Factory, line, brands it, with the likes of, the Psycho 2s of the world, Prince of Darkness, Funhouse. I mean, classics, and then you have Dark Hall. It just doesn't fit. I mean.
And they went balls out on those extras, didn't they? We didn't even get a chapter menu on this one. It's just
it's funny because I was
stepchild was locked up in the Scream Factory closet somewhere.
I was getting Anchor Bay flashbacks of, some of their first shitty straight-to-video movies, and then the lack of any extras or anything. I was like, okay, at least we got a menu, so they haven't gone that far into Anchor Bay territory. So, yeah. I am not recommending this one. I don't. There's nothing positive, really, that you didn't already mention on this one. It's not even a cool, it's not even a cool, monster movie. I mean, doesn't sound like a throwback or anything. It's just kind of like modern, crappy sci-fi fare.
Yeah, it's not I think the thing is, it's not entirely like what you would see on Sci-Fi Channel. I mean, the earlier effects certainly are, but I don't know. I guess I'm a little less harsh because most of the actors weren't that bad. They didn't have a whole lot to work with. I mean, you can definitely tell Tom Sizemore is earning a big
well, okay. I will correct myself. It's Chiller original. Is that better? Yes.
I don't know. It didn't.
Could you recommend this anyway?
Nobody's gonna love this film. No, I wouldn't tell anybody to go out and that they have to see it. It falls below average for me. I just didn't hate it, but for me it gets 2 out of 5 for some good ideas, a couple cool kills, and I mean, you really have to have a thing for Sci-Fi Channel originals that are a little bit more on the serious side to get anything out of this. Nobody should pay full price for this. At best, I would say watch it on Sci-Fi Channel because for me, I didn't really see a whole lot in this that wouldn't have aired right on Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
So if you're curious, I would recommend check it out on Sci-Fi. But it does fall below average for me, so it gets a 2 out of 5.
Well, I guess I didn't hear that much worse than you, because I have 2 written down, wrote down myself. It just didn't deliver. I mean, I can't say, other than the horrible CGI, it wasn't, bad. It wasn't made horribly. The performances weren't even that bad, other than, as you mentioned, Sizemore phoning it in. It just wasn't, it didn't work, and the CG and the monster were bad. So.
Not at the end, though.
Yeah.
At the end, I was okay with the monster. Just the beginning and middle.
Yeah. Just when the Evil Toons cameo happens.
That really shocked me, because it's funny when you go through the film, they're very careful at times to not give you a clear look at it for obvious reasons, and even like the CG explosions, like the gas station, they kind of pan up in a way that it doesn't look too obvious. So I think the director definitely knew, okay, we really need to make sure that we hide as much of the CG as we can. I think he was trying for something a little different than you see through Sci-Fi normally. But that's what it is. Like I said, it is one of the, I haven't seen Remains in a while, so I don't know if that would be the worst release from them, or it'd probably still be this one. But hey, it's still a 2, so Scream Factory's still a pretty quality company. But if you haven't seen Animal, which hasn't been getting as much praise as it should have, in my opinion, I do still think Animal is a really good creature feature that is actually suspenseful and scary. So I don't know why. It hasn't gotten great love, but we stand by that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's a definition of a good old school monster flick with a practical monster.
Yep.
Yep. That's definitely, pretty much the modern, I guess, standard. You don't see it as much, so. You want a good monster flick, there you go.
Yeah, a good monster flick made for television, too. And that director seems to know what he's doing and churns out quality stuff, not crap. We get a lot of quality television series these days, so somebody needs to start the sort of revolution and get us back to the 70s, early 80s, where there were a lot of great horror movies that stand the test of time against their Hollywood counterparts. Trilogy of Terror. There's Gargoyles. There's a lot of quality television horror from that time. A lot that still needs to come out, quite frankly. But
I know.
That's Darkfall.
Where was everyone buying the Scream Factory line of the TV, movies? We only got 1 volume.
Yeah, apparently that bombed, which was very sad. But I don't know. Maybe they'll still give us a few more. I was really amazed that they said that did so poorly. It was priced right, great double feature. I was ecstatic. At one point, it's like $5.
Probably part of the problem. Yeah, part of the problem with that one is I think everyone that would have bought it immediately got sent a screener. That's back when they were sending out a lot to everyone before they kind of reined things in. So I don't know if that
Scream pulled back on a lot of screeners, unfortunately, but I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't think so, though. I know. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't sell. But anyways, that's Dark Hall. I'm
just going to throw this out there if we have any from Scream listening. What they need to do is do a website exclusive for Volume 2 that you only get on the website, like Shout Factory does with tons of stuff, and some of the Swamp Thing volumes, or I think the last one's a web store exclusive. Excuse me. Do that with Volume 2, and you throw those limited things up, people seem to go after more than the standard releases.
Yeah, you do. If you collectors, and as a hardcore collector, as anybody knows who knows me knows, anybody on my Facebook, when you see limited edition, and they stick to it, no bullshit limited editions that or end up being repassed. But if you stick to that limited edition thing, you know, hey, you can charge a bit more when hey, I better get this right now, or I may not get it.
I'll gladly pay $20 for two, old school made for TV, classics versus the $10 they were doing for the wide release. So.
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer, because that was an epic time for horror cinema. There were a lot of just fantastic television movies that stand the test of time, and even a couple of the not stellar ones were still really good. So there's a lot to come out. But anyways, moving on, Vinegar Syndrome. We have a couple new old retro titles from Vinegar Syndrome, one of which is probably going to be new to most everybody. I had never seen it, and that's the film we're going to talk about now, and that is The Muthers. 1976 film from Filipino exploitation legend Cirio Santiago. And from the back cover, climb aboard with the Muthers, the meanest, toughest, and most action-packed pirate crew in the Pacific. Join Jane Kennedy, Rosanna Caton, Jeannie Bell, and their crew on a daring rescue mission to save one of their own from the clutches of vicious white slavers. Directed by, I already said, the master of Filipino sleaze, Cirio Santiago. The Muthers blasts onto DVD, newly restored from its 35mm negative. So I'm a big Filipino cinema fan, a big Cirio Santiago fan, which you would pretty much have to be. But I'd never seen this one. Todd, have you seen it, and what did you think?
I don't think I have. If I did, it was years ago. It's definitely, as far as I know, the first time I've seen it, but you never know with those things. I had fun with it, and it is, I don't want to say typical. Well, it kind of is for that women in prison genre from that era, with that Filipino, I guess, twist. I'm a fan of Cirio's stuff too, so this is no different. It delivered on, I guess, what we'd expect from that. We get some guns, some boobs, some violence. It's some women in prison action, I guess, and it is more of the kind of like. I guess an outdoor, bamboo-ish prison, kind of like, White Slave and that kind of genre, more of the that type of prison, which I definitely, women in cages, stuff like that. I am a fan of that, so I had fun with this one.
Yeah, I did too. It's not, well, number one, it's very unique. I mean, you have women in prison meets blaxploitation meets a fucking pirate movie. So when Vinegar Syndrome announced that they were putting it out, I was like, my God, I've never seen this. Which is, like I said, I'm not a blaxploitation expert. I very well might be a women in prison expert, but I've seen most everything in those genres, and this doesn't stand out among the best of them. I mean, no. It's certainly not even Cirio's anywhere near best. It's a little light on the exploitation elements. We have a couple topless scenes, which all well and good, but there's
shower
a lot of
scenes.
Yeah, there are shower scenes. You don't see much, so people maybe going in for that might be a little bit disappointed. You don't really have like that. The villain's a bit blah. You don't have like that great villain, that great nasty, oily-looking villain that you get in a lot of these movies that really help make it.
There's no John Vernon.
As I said,
that.
No who?
No John Vernon.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It, like I said, it's very unique. At the very least, there isn't, as far as I'm aware, any blaxploitation pirate women in prison flick out there. It definitely screams, perhaps, I don't know. I don't know if a remake at this point would really work for this, but it doesn't work too well. Fun, there's some over-the-top action, cheap over-the-top action that Cirio's known for. Jeannie Bell, of course, from TNT Jackson, 3 The Hard Way, and I think a couple other blaxploitation titles that I can't think of off the top of my head. Very beautiful. The cast is great. I think they really hold it together. I don't know. It's just middle of the road exploitation fare for me. I did do a little research, and apparently this began as Zamboanga, if I'm saying that right, in 1974, and it was pitched, I guess, as a female pirate flick from Jack Hill and Cirio Santiago before Hill apparently abandoned the project, and a couple of years later, this is what we got. As always, it's absolutely stellar, the transfer for a film like this that, I think I had heard of it a while back, hadn't really thought about it in a while, and Vinegar Syndrome tends to do, they delivered and then some as far as the look of this film. It looks beautiful. No extras really on this, unfortunately, but I sense that would probably be difficult to track some of these ladies down. Unfortunately, we don't have like a Sid Haig that was involved in this particular one that they could have, maybe snagged for an interview. But all in all, another fantastic package, and it's no Cleopatra Wong, it's no Killing of Satan. Some of the in my opinion cooler, batshit crazy Filipino titles. There's no Wang Wang. Wang Wang could have saved it for me. If they could have made Wang Wang should have been the slave trader, and I think this movie would have gotten 5 stars.
That would have definitely jumped it up a few notches. But the thing with this era of exploitation, I'll take average exploitation over a lot of the I'll just say over Dark Hall any day of the week.
Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, very true. This could have gone a long way. It just, like I said, it was missing some of that women in prison stuff that you a lot of people tend to look for. But yes, I guess we should rate it. As far as the movie goes, like I said, it's middle of the road for these genres. I keep saying genre, it's multiple genres, but it gets a 3 from me. It's still something that I think if you're a fan, you're gonna enjoy the film. As far as packaging, like I said, there's no extras, but I sense this is a case where there was just no way they could get extras on this one. So I'm still saying it's a great package because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, transfer's beautiful.
Todd, how about you?
I'm right with you. I was going between 2 and 3, but I liked it enough. I mean, I can pop this one in again with, not really anytime soon, but it's not one I'll just like, okay, it's in the collection. It's one, can't come out of the collection again and get a spin. It's not archived forever, I'll just say. So I'm the same. I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, I was tempted at a 2.5, but then I was like, no, it is unique. And a lot of those films, even though I love them, they are very similar. So this this was more unique than a lot of them, if nothing else. So I figure that deserves the extra half star. So yes, that is The Muthers, one half of our Vinegar Syndrome review for the evening. And Vinegar Syndrome is such an awesome company. I mean, if you haven't been on their website, it's vinsyn.com, right? I don't know if I want to. Is there a dash in there? I have it bookmarked.
I do too. I just started typing VIN and it auto-fills it out for me. I'm there. I want to see it's vinegarsyndrome.com. But actually, since we're on since we're on here, we didn't mention earlier, so I guess it's kind of worth note since this is our Vinegar Syndrome segment. They announced this week that the Vinegar Syndrome TV has been renamed to Exploitation TV. Exploitation.tv will be the website versus vinegarsyndrome.tv, since they figure it's a more all-encompassing name, and they are actively looking for other exploiters. I don't know how exploiter. I don't know how to word that one. Other people in the same line of film to add to their site, sort of like how Trauma has. I'm hoping Trauma. I guess I slipped that one out. Kind of how Full Moon's got like Something Weird and Blue Underground on their label. So their streaming. So I'm hoping Trauma would be an excellent one. I'm sure Trauma. Just scan all of our elements. That's fine.
That would really, really be worth it for them to do. And like I said, there's some labels that, won't name names, but there's some labels that aren't particularly great to their fans. Vinegar Syndrome really is. Whatever you think about the film, I'm not saying everything they put out is a top-notch film, but they really put a lot into it. I can't think of anything that's come out through them where I've looked at it as a package and thought, wow, that was just a horrible release. I cannot think of one, and I own, I think, all but 2 or 3 of their discs. So, I can definitely speak to it. It's always stellar work, and don't forget, even if you're like me and have all the discs, with Vinegar Syndrome, you're going to be streaming some of those in HD. The only way you'll see them in HD, which is a big selling point. And I'm still waiting to see if I'll be able to stream it on my Amazon Fire Stick, though.
I think you will. It's just not right away. I don't think on the day of the launch it will, but we'll see. I don't know. They met some of their stretch goals, so we'll have to. I'm good to go. I got the Roku, so.
I might grab a Roku. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I've got my WWE Network through my Fire Stick, and I think Vinegar Syndrome's going to go there eventually. So, but yes. Well, and I have it for a year now too, so we will see.
Yes.
So our second, somewhat more known release from Vinegar Syndrome, Don't Go in the Woods Alone, the 1981 slasher comedy from director James Bryan. And this follows a group of obnoxious campers who venture into the wilderness for what they assume will be a fun-filled weekend. Unknown to them, a bloodthirsty maniac is hiding in the woods, watching their every move and violently killing them one by one every chance he gets. Filled with lo-fi gore effects and black humor, Don't Go in the Woods remains one of the quintessential regional slasher films of the early 80s, and is coming to Blu Ray for the very first time, newly restored in 2K from the 35mm interpositive and loaded with extras. So yes, revisiting this one, although this one hasn't actually been that long for me. Of course, I watched the Code Red release. This is one of those films that kind of splits people. There's a lot of reviews that says it's the worst slasher film of the 80s, and there are some people that absolutely love it. This one, for me, to be honest, and it is a bad movie in the technical sense. I love the film. I've never talked to you about this one, but I actually love the film. It's just fun. It's a really fun flick, and there's no explanation. There's a lot of weirdness in this film, in some other James Bryan films as well. The killer, there's nothing explained. There's no real story to be spoken of. very odd casting, two more butch-looking actresses as the female leads, which I thought was very unusual at the time or now. It was a very strange thing. One kind of looks like Lily Cade's mom. It's very strange. That's the only word I can use for it. But good strange. This movie is very well paced. I think it holds up a lot better than recent slasher Blu Ray releases like New Year's Evil or Final Exam. I still enjoy this film much more than some of those.
Terror.
Final Terror, yes. I would highly recommend this one over those. This is one that even if you haven't seen it, you still might like it. And I think in those other cases that we mentioned, I don't think a whole lot of people are going to fall in love with those films. Like I said, there's nothing to it, but it's hilarious. The acting is hilarious. There's just I can't tell half the time what's intentional and what's not, but there are kills all over the place. More than one sleeping bag kill that was pretty cool. Not, like I said, not necessarily realistic gore, but fun gore. The cripple decapitation. I mean, it's just all over the place. I mean, if you're ADD, this is the slasher film for you because it doesn't stop moving. And yeah, like I said, people like to throw out terms like Z-grade, but it's a hell of a lot more entertaining than something like New Year's Evil that had somewhat of a budget behind it. I think this one endures quite well. Todd, never talked to you about this one. What do you think?
I'm kind of in the middle on this one. I enjoy it. It's not one of my go-tos. I do think it is one, have a few beers, laugh at it. It can be a good time, but it's not one I go to and nowhere near a top 10 on a slasher list, horror list. But it's one I find every time I rewatch it, because I haven't watched it since the Code Red disc, pretty far back now. Wasn't that their first Code Red disc? Was this?
I don't know if it was their first, but it was one of the early ones.
Yeah, it was first or third. It was way up in the beginning.
First wave, yeah.
Yeah, but rewatching again, yeah, it is. I have fun with it, but it's not one. I can see why it divides people. I'm like right in the middle on this one. I'm kind of riding the fence. Yeah, it's not my go-to. I'm surprised you didn't mention the lack of nudity.
That is true, and a lot of more sadistic, mean reviewers might say that might have been a good thing in this case, but it had so much of the other, the gags and the kills that I could kind of forgive it for that, which is very rare for me to say. New Year's Evil was a movie that could have used some boobs.
Yeah.
The rare case, this movie didn't need too much gratuitous nudity.
Yeah, although we do kind of get a sex scene though, kind of, or a van scene, I guess.
Yes.
I know you were like,
the best thing you didn't get, see those two bumping uglies on this film.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, but it has to be mentioned from this era of, slasher, I guess. Yeah, I would. It's a hard one to recommend. I mean, I think if you already have an appreciation for the slashers, I think you will come out of this, enjoying at least aspects of it. Even fans of bad film, but if you're just kind of a horror guy who's not really like, oh, I'm a slasher guy, I can see it going the other way. And like you mentioned, reviews have been divided, and I do definitely see both sides on this one. But I do like the film. It's just not one of my favorites. And I don't, there's some stuff I'll go back and revisit quite often. This one's just kind of, when I watch it, I'm like, okay, I do like this one. It kind of gets lumped in. I do kind of always think back of something like The Final Tear, kind of in that mold. This is way more entertaining than those.
Absolutely. I mean, and obviously, it doesn't stand up to the Juggernauts. I mean, it's not the Prowler, it's not the Burning,
right?
You know, but it's, like I said, as a goofy, low budget, you know, regional horror flick, I think it holds up really well. It's one of those ones. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, how do you think it stacks up? How would you think it stacks up to something like Just Before Dawn? Because I kind of have a similar era.
Well, I like Just Before Dawn a lot. To be brutally honest with you, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a better movie. It's not going to be a better movie compared to most. But if you've never seen either one, I think maybe most might appreciate Don't Go in the Woods Alone a little bit more.
That's what I'm kind of thinking too. That's, you know, they were both early Code Red titles. I know now this is a Vinegar Syndrome one, but it's just I always think of those two kind of around the same era.
Well, if you saw it back then or on VHS back in the day, Just Before Dawn would probably win at that point. I'm just not so sure that that's the case anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one still seems to have that certain goofy quality to it. And like I said, nobody can accuse the film of being boring because it moved pretty well. There's a lot of kills in this thing.
They can accuse it of a lot of things, but that's not one of them. Yeah,
absolutely. The sheriff's not going to be winning an Oscar anytime soon. Did you notice the term pencil neck geek was used? So Brian must have been a wrestling fan.
Children, you can Google that. That was wrestling legend Classy Freddie Blassie's catchphrase. Kids.
But,
you know what? Hold on. I gotta look at the time. We made it an hour and 11 minutes without one wrestling reference. You had to go.
That may be a record, but it was there. It was in the movie. We try not to, but it happens. So, well, yeah. I mean, my rating for this might sound insane, but rating it amongst the slashers, you know, again, certain movies we review a little bit differently. I'm not comparing this one to you know, The Exorcist or any kind of, or Evil Dead or any masterpiece of the genre. But in terms of the slashers, I give this one 4 out of 5. I mean, I can't go higher than that because it is a film where it's not technically well made, but technically well made. I mean, it's entertaining as hell. I think it stands up amongst the middle of the road and lower slashers of the era. It stands head and shoulders above them. And as far as the package goes, again, another win from Vinegar Syndrome, and you know, you get tons of extras on this one. I can't, my memory is always shit, so I can't say what was might have been out there before. But
the commentary from the Code Red disc didn't get ported over on this one. A couple photo galleries, nothing too major. All the video extras, it looks like, were ported over. I think there was a couple TV spots that didn't make the transition. I was kind of surprised to see some of the longer. Maybe Code Red just owns the commentary, not the physical extras. So yeah, I was really, really glad about that transfer. Definite top notch. It's the best it's ever looked. Overall package, as you mentioned, definite. I'd give it a 5. I'm not as kind, I guess, on this one. I'd give it a 3. No, 3.5 actually. I'll be a little bit kinder because it's a little better than, you know, I guess 3 is a little bit above average. Yeah, I'm good with 3.5. But I would recommend it if you're a slasher guy. Definitely. It's well worth picking up. It's I want to say it's only like $15 on Amazon right now. With some really cheap.
It's not pricey.
Really cheap. So can't go wrong with that. I definitely say check it out. It's a solid
Any
edition.
of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff is pretty well priced. You know, you get the limited edition Blu-rays, which are a little more expensive, but for the most part, all of their titles are pretty cheap. Most all are no more than 15 at max. So yes, I guess we'll take our break before we get into our next film, which this song is from, correct?
Yes, we actually have a pair of songs
cool.
from one of our reviews tonight. So I guess it'll be pretty apparent once the lyrics start. So it's from Wolfcop, one of our reviews tonight. So we figured out what better way to get you guys ready. So after our songs, we'll be back in 4.5 minutes with our review. I'm sure we'll have fun. I'm sure we'll have fun talking about this one. So all right, We'll be back in a few. Enjoy.
God, I could use a drink.
In the streets, half man, half wolf, pure beast. Patrol the town looking for trouble, man. Stuffing dead bodies in my duffel bag. Slice your face, rip the head off your body. Slam a cold boom, pump your body with the shotty. Drinking human blood in the sacrifice. Welcome to the seance, see you in the afterlife. No T-Wolf, just a man with a taste for blood. Watch the barrel stop smoking when you choke on mud. Till you met me, you know what trouble was. Till I filled your jean jacket with a couple slugs. I'm cursed with this curse, I'm a monster. Pissing on fire hydrants, foaming at the choppers. I hairy menace with a badge and a gun. Don't bother trying to hide, cause there's nowhere you can run from the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. Don't try to hide from the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. Oh damn, Mr. Wolfie got a plan. Forget Frankenstein, more like the son of Sam. Soon as that full moon hits, there's no turning back. Everything turns to black, you can kiss my hairy ass. Try how you like it. I've got you now, don't bother trying to fight it. Welcome to my hell, you've all been invited. Once you've been bitten, there's no way you can hide it. Forget wizards and witches, I'll leave you with stitches. Just for a speeding ticket, I'm bit with a sickness. There's no antidote, I'm alone on this highway. Drifting in the dark, just fucking a new crime wave. So go pray to the priest and drink your holy water. Grab your guns, lock the doors, hide your daughters. You think you got me surrounded? You better get your piece of bullet and better have a silver bullet. Cause I'm the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. Don't try to hide from the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. I'm the wolf cop. I'm the wolf cop. I'm the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. Yeah.
And we're back.
Yes, we're both back, actually. I timed that perfect. I got 5 seconds ago.
Yes, Hot Pockets?
Nah, no time for Hot Pockets. It was just a bathroom break for me. I have some leftover Singapore rice noodles awaiting me when we wrap the show. That and SmackDown are awaiting me after we wrap the shows.
I tend to go run errands after the shows. It's still early on the West Coast.
Oh yes, I always forget you're 3 hours earlier. So yeah, you still have plenty of time in the day.
Yes, and I could probably maybe I'll have In-N-Out for dinner for us West Coasters.
Yes. I don't think there's any of those on the East Coast. I grew up near one.
I think far as they go is. I think far as they go is Texas.
Okay. I think you're right. It's a lot of the places that we're looking to move right now. There are certain things. I miss Hastings very much. Although we do have Second and Charles, a pretty similar store. But I do miss Hastings. I miss Fry's quite a bit. I was going
to say you're picking a location based on Fry's.
Pretty much, but you know what? There is a Fry's in Atlanta. That's mostly West Coast, but there is a Fry's somewhere outside, right near Atlanta, and Atlanta is one of the places that we're looking at. Although it doesn't really matter, because if we go to the default location of Orlando, Atlanta's only about 5 hours away, and yes, I will drive 5 hours to go to Fry's. So, you know.
I just love going in there because you'll find random like $3 Blu Rays. I think last time I was in there, that was a couple of the Well Go USA titles I grabbed that I hadn't got. I saw Strippers vs. Werewolves was $3. There's a few good ones out
for me, but worth $3.
I was going to say over $3. A lot of the Anchor Bay stuff. Forever they had tons and tons of the Masters of Horrors Blu Rays for like $1 each. There's always some good stuff.
I'm just stoked to go into a store where you can look around and actually buy fucking Olive titles. I mean, you know, it's all these companies where essentially for probably most of the country now, you just buy it off Amazon. Even Scream Factory. I mean, Scream Factory, all these big titles, you know, unless you're lucky that you still have an FYE or a Suncoast, and even then, really, you know, they tend to be overpriced if they have them at all. You know, I was thrilled when we were on vacation in Arizona.
Apparently, it's a chain there. It's called ZA, I believe, but it's basically Tower Records. I mean, essentially, it's their exact same strategy. You got the toys and the music, the movies. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Tower Records, or if you're familiar with, I'm sure there's a few. Amoeba Records, big in Hollywood. Yeah. Not as big as Amoeba in Hollywood because that's 2 stories, but basically that model. And I walked in there, I was so happy, and I know I probably posted on Facebook. I got titles from Trauma, Full Moon. They had all the Olive stuff, all the Scream Factory stuff. Oddly, the only title I could not find wasn't even one that was it was a mainstream one. I couldn't find Death Wish on Blu-ray. That was the only thing they did not have. I guess someone else was having a run on that one.
They probably did.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. That's not one you don't see. I was just like, so what? I was like, oh, that one I'll be able to find it. And I did not think I would be walking out of there with like L.A. Maniac from Trauma. What is it? Whack. I can't remember the Full Moon one. The Nashi, is it Nashi? Wax or something? I still haven't watched it. But a few, I was like, so I get that. Yes, okay. I get picking locations off your favorite stores. And I know you had talked about Arizona also, so you got that if all else fails.
It's right now. It's looking. I mean, there's Orlando, there's Atlanta, there's. There's Tucson, Phoenix,
No,
Tucson.
No,
if we go West Coast, it's probably pretty much going to be Arizona for the most part. I mean, there's a couple other possibilities. But
I was going to say you should go to Nevada. No sales tax. It's another possibility.
True.
You're 4 hours from LA, basically.
Yeah, Vegas.
Not a bad option.
Vegas is where I last went to Fry's. I went to the Vegas Fry's, and I like I said, for me, if I think in Fry's there aren't a ton of them, so it's like hopefully they'll stay alive and not possibly go the way of some other companies that are rumored not to survive. FYE, I'm sure, is going to be dying soon, from what I would imagine.
Fry's is such a big store, and they're always busy. At least the ones here. They're also in Arizona too. So I've seen one in Arizona.
I think there's a couple in Arizona actually.
Yeah.
I'd have to double
check. They also have a Fry's market, so that gets confusing. Like, wait, and their logos are pretty similar. I was like, oh wait, that's not it.
Yeah.
So.
If you're fortunate enough to be near a Fry's, well worth looking up. It's great chain. Prices vary, but there's a lot of good cheap stuff, and nothing's like ridiculously overpriced. So
I can make you jealous. I'm 15 minutes away from 2 Fry's as I sit right now.
Oh wow, yeah, California, Texas. I've been to Fry's in Dallas. I was in the California one years ago. One of them, I can't remember where, but and I've been to Vegas. I think Fort Worth, if I recall. It's a nifty store. It always has been. So, but anyways, that's a side rant. Back to our reviews.
We do still have a couple movies and a TV show to discuss.
Yeah, Walking Dead's almost certain to go into overtime, so we apologize. But we'll throw that out there now. So Wolfcop, just heard the awesome song from the back cover. Officer Lou Garou isn't the best cop in small-town Woodhaven. In fact, he's probably the worst. He mostly just looks to avoid anything that could possibly interfere with his goal of getting wasted. One evening during the night shift, Lou investigates a mysterious disturbance at the edge of town and wakes up with a pentagram carved in his chest, heightened senses, and body hair that's growing at an alarming rate. To solve the mystery of his transformation, he'll have to take on a case no normal cop would be able to solve. But this half-man, half-beast is not just a cop, he's a wolf cop. So, Todd, this is one we've been waiting for a while, and we got it early. It is a Best Buy Blu Ray exclusive, which kind of came out of nowhere. I'm glad to not have to wait till May, although Walmart also had the DVD, so it's kind of strange. Amazon had it for May 12th, but...
The DVD is a wide release. The Blu-ray's the only exclusive, and that's only in the U.S. So I know people are finding it in Walmart in Canada. Just the Blu-ray's exclusive here. Another in a long line of the Best Buy exclusives. I'm glad we found out about it because I like you would have been waiting till May. And
Yep. So what did you think? Did the movie live up to your expectations?
It was worth the wait. I really had fun with it. We have a double feature of werewolf reviews, and a completely different tone. With this one, I loved it. It was what I expected. I mean, you can't take a movie called Wolfcop too seriously.
No.
You heard the theme. I wasn't sure. I was kind of you never know, because a lot of these things get kind of hyped up and then they don't live up. I don't know I'll just say it like this. With the first transformation, not often do we start off a transformation like we do in this.
The dick burster?
There you go. I didn't notice any CG. I mean, I don't know if anything was enhanced anywhere, but I mean, for an old school transformation, I really dug it. And
no, not in the transformation. There was some bullet fire, but
okay, yeah. It was definitely that old school throwback transformation. I liked the the way it looked, and the Wolfcop himself. I mean, yes. Okay, it's a little bit far-fetched. He's going to throw out his suit, go out doing his cop shit. But, again, you knew what you were getting into when you watched this. I had a blast. I was laughing. It was fun. It was bloody. My one complaint, and I don't know if you noticed this, there was an obvious body double in the sex scene.
Yeah.
I was slightly disappointed for our topless scene. But that's the only complaint I think I had, because she was a hot.
Yeah, that face wasn't in the shot, as Mr. Skin would say, that body double.
Yeah. The hands looked a little bit cheaper in that shot, so probably picked those up in the bathroom. I don't know, wherever they found a place to get a chick topless and pick up some boob inserts. Well, that was probably my only complaint. But hey, they found a way to stick some teenage in there. I'm good with that, even if it's not the one we think it is.
Yeah, it's it needed to be there. Wolfcop, not exactly a classy production. A little gratuitous nudity. Never heard anything.
Yeah. And we didn't go the Leslie Mann route from the change-up, so that's always good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I really enjoyed this as well. I thought it was really funny without... I mean, it's tough to put it this way. It's ridiculous, but it's not too ridiculous where it just feels like they're beating you over the head with its ridiculousness. It's pretty clever stuff. You know,
it has a story.
It does. It has a story. It's definitely a comedy. There's no doubt about that. As it's marketed, but there is a story there. It's not just random dick jokes and cheap gore or anything like that. It's a pretty well-made production. There's some twists. It's a good script. It's funny. It's something I would even recommend to some people that might see this and just think, God, that sounds like a piece of shit. Even you folk may like this one. As you said, the gore is great in this, and I don't care what anybody says. David Naughton suffered in American Werewolf in London, but that opening part to that transformation in the bathroom, that fucking hurt. That I could feel the fucking pain. That Naughton doesn't have shit over that. That was ugly. Great gore bits. I thought the skinned face. There's actually two moments of a face, skinned face that I thought were funny. Jonathan Cherry, who's looking very different these days, but I kind of first took notice of him in House of the Dead way back in the day. Better than House of the Dead, fortunately, but he was hilarious. I thought, it's like, there's some motherfucker out there walking around with his face ripped off. That gag. I did want to see that guy just show up again, but that might have been a little bit too ridiculous. The skin face in the bathroom wall, the guy eating a sandwich, and that horrible gore scene. It's really funny, like I said, and it's funny without getting absolutely stupid, which a premise like this definitely could have. I definitely think this is a potential cult classic. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not the greatest film of this type that I've seen over the last decade or so, but it's pretty damn good. And I really enjoyed it.
I say bring on Wolfcop too. I mean, it's advertised all over the place on this thing, so I hope we actually get it.
Yeah, Wolfcop 2 coming in 2015, they say. I don't think we're going to get it in 2015, but I do hope we get it. I don't know. Are they shooting a sequel already? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that one. I mean, we haven't reported anything, so it doesn't mean that there hasn't been news bits. I wouldn't be surprised to hear some. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to start hearing some news bits coming out soon. Now that's hopefully getting some buzz. It is a Canadian production, so that may be why it's not as newsworthy in the States. I don't know, but we will definitely look into that because I'm all for more Wolfcop.
Well, yeah, and there've been some other kind of ridiculous themed horror comedies from Canada. Monster Brawl was one that I was very disappointed in.
Me too.
I think Anthony might have put that out, but this, particularly being wrestling fans, I thought they missed a lot of opportunities with that one. So yes, in the realm of Canadian horror and Canadian horror comedies, this is a gem.
I have to say, because it brings to mind the stuff of Astron 6.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of, but not totally. Like I said, it doesn't quite. There's some people that might not appreciate Father's Day that would still like this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's also other sorts. I mean, Father's Day is a little bit more of an extreme one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Astron 6 turned down a notch. It doesn't have that trauma element I get thrown in. But it is that wacky Canadian sense. I don't think anyone's brainstorming Wolfcop out here.
Yeah, no, it definitely has a Canadian feel to it.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, look at all the Golden Age slashers we got out of Canada. At least someone over there is still taking risks. You know, studios here like, no thank you. So I'm grateful when we get something like this out of Canada.
Yeah, the only minor criticism I can give of this film is the fact that at the beginning I thought the actor was a bit unconcerned with what was going on, or he kind of came off that way. That's my only... I enjoyed the actor's performance, and again, he's playing a disinterested drunk, so it kind of makes sense. But I don't know, that beginning part, I'm like, God, this guy should be freaking out at least a little bit. That's my only minor complaint. But like I said, it's not perfect, but it's close to perfect for this type of film if you enjoy that. And for me, it gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will as well.
Yeah, I'm on par with that one. I 4.5. I wanted to give it a 5, but like you mentioned, there's a few things. So
couple little things.
Well worth check. Yeah, and honestly, I think this is one I could. You don't have to be a gore hound or anything. I mean,
no. But
if you're just in if you want a fun comedy too, I mean, this functions as that too. So it's definitely something I can go on with the kids. Be like, why don't see something funny? Let's watch Wolfcop, and I don't think there's an issue.
No,
I should say the teenage kid. I'm not throwing on for a 6-year-old or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. This wouldn't damage him too bad, I don't think. But
okay, Frozen's done. Okay, time for Wolfcop.
It depends on the 6-year-old. I don't know. Probably, there might be a couple things you don't want them to see in this. I don't know. In exploding fur dick, I don't think that's going to damage a kid too much. But yes,
that's just
we have a consent.
More questions than you want to answer probably off that one.
True. That is true. That is true. But we have a consensus on that one. That's 4.5. I would definitely recommend picking that one up.
It's only
I was a little bit worried because I actually had Monster Brawl and Strippers versus Werewolves on the mind. I'm like, I wonder if this is going to be one of those that just didn't quite do it for me, but fortunately it did. So yes, moving on. Actually, another werewolf, a very different kind of werewolf movie. Late Phases, Night of the Lone Wolf, I should say, from director Adrian Garcia Bagliano, who the Bagliano brothers were actually on not pre-Horror Society. I think we were Creepshow Radio by that point. They were on with Brian. I can't remember if I sat in on that one or not, but I know the Bagliano brothers were on one of the shows back in the day. So it's good to see them. It's good to see them getting some high-profile work now in the U.S. Yes, Late Phases follows blind war veteran Ambrose McKinley, played by Nick D'Amici of Stakeland, who has recently moved to Crescent Bay, a seemingly peaceful community on the outskirts of a dense forest. On his first night in his new home, McKinley hears his elderly neighbor attacked by something he's convinced isn't human. When the creature then kills his seeing eye dog, McKinley's thirst for justice turns into a one-man vendetta against the monster that's terrorizing his neighborhood. And when he's stonewalled by both police and his fellow residents, he decides to gear up and prepare to fight the beast one-on-one. Now it's man versus myth as McKinley readies himself for what could be his final battle. This is the last one I watched. Saved the best for last, I think, as far as I'm concerned. This film I thought was fantastic. This is probably the first time ever that we've had two very different but very stellar werewolf movies in 1 week, and we've also had Where not too long ago, and a couple other not great but solid werewolf flicks. So werewolf flicks are kind of on the rise again. This one's absolutely stellar. I think the lead actor. Mm-hmm.
I think this is leading the pack right now of the current crop too.
Yeah, I would agree. This one, Nick D'Amici, if you haven't seen Stakeland, fantastic actor. I mean, probably one of the best performances this year. I know come year's end we are going to do an award show. We didn't last year because we didn't have a full year yet on the Horror Society, the Flesh Wound Radio banner, I should say, and it's fantastic. It's stellar from beginning to end. It kicks it off with a cool bit of werewolf action. And other than that, I mean, I will throw it out there, and this is not a criticism at all. It's just, a what you like kind of deal. The werewolf action's at the beginning, and then there's quite a bit of it towards the end. The rest of it is very much a character study, and a fantastic character study. This guy, you learn a little bit more about him, why he's so gruff and grumpy. It manages to be, and again, Glass Eye Picks, I think, has something to do with this. Anything Fessenden's involved with tends to be high quality. Just one of these guys you're rooting for throughout the whole thing. He's so likable and has that old school kind of badass 70s sort of quality about him that's so rare. And the cast, I should actually throw out there, the cast is fantastic all around. Tom Noonan from the Monster Squad is in this, playing a priest. Strangely enough, he also played a priest on Hell on Wheels, so kind of seen him cast in this role before. Also, again, some interesting twists. This movie's got everything. They don't overplay the sympathy factor for this character. I mean, his son's dumping him in this retirement community. It really could have gotten a little bit too melodramatic, but he's really a guy with a disability who plans it out and actually fights fucking werewolves. A blind old man.
I was going to say
fucking werewolf. Mm-hmm.
And you believe it. I mean, we haven't had this kind of handicap werewolf action since Corey Haim in Silver Bullet, but this is definitely much more believable. Wheelchairs or anything.
Towards the end, I was almost starting to think if I needed to criticize it when he really starts fighting these fucking werewolves. But he pulls it off. I mean, he's such a tough old bastard that even when he's kind of briefly fighting them hand-to-hand where one might say, okay, that might be getting a little unrealistic, I still bought it. I just was like, this guy's towards the the end of his life, and by gum, he's gonna whip some ass. One of the coolest characters I've seen in a horror movie recently, quite frankly. He just the way he plans all this out, and like I said, it doesn't get too sappy. It's not like, you know, a father and son melodrama, but at the same time, you know, you do kind of get that connection to the character, and, you know, like I said, how he became the way he did. I just thought
I did too, and not to give too much away, there's a voicemail in particular. It's like, oh, that's kind of rough for Ethan Embry's character. I guess we should mention Tina Louise also pops up. Ginger from Gilligan's Island. You know, haven't seen her in a while. But yeah, I did very much enjoy the cast, and
Caitlin O'Heaney from He Knows You're Alone.
Yeah. Trying to. You already mentioned Tom Noonan. Yeah, everyone in this flick was top notch. I really loved it. I didn't know, you know, what to expect going in on this one, and I was hooked. There was never a dull moment. I mean, it is definitely a character study, as you mentioned, but when it's one that's, you know, that good, it doesn't matter, you know, that we're not getting a lot of wolf action in the middle. I mean,
but it leads to a big bang at the end.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's definitely, you know, the payoff's there. I mean, it's a really good story, and I know they were in one of the actually kind of mentioned. Oh yeah, that blind werewolf movie he's working on. You know when they were telling people, it's kind of a weird movie to tell people you're doing. But
we had Blind Fury, some blind ninja stuff in the past.
This is true. The Rugger Hauer classic.
Yeah.
Wait.
With Thurman.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love this one. It is, you know, complete opposite of Wolfcop, but I mean, two really good, you know, takes on the werewolf genre. And I think in general, I'm not a huge werewolf guy. I mean, I love Ginger Snaps. Silver Bullet's one of my favorites. But werewolves and vampires, Dog Soldiers is another really good one. Of course, I mean, I do, you know, American Werewolf and The Howling, but I mean,
there was a dry spell for werewolf movies for sure.
Yeah, and I don't actively go looking for. It's not when I'm like, okay, it's a new werewolf. Yeah, I mean, I want to check everything out, but it's never been the top. I'm the same way with vampires too. I mean, I got the ones I like, but I'm not actively seeking out. You know, I don't like get that. Oh, I'm feeding. Yeah, exactly. So like, I need a new vampire movie. I don't say that. Or same with werewolves. But I do have the ones I love and defend, and I think this is going into that category. You know, good wolf movie. Late phases. Now, here's my thing. Do you think the title, the full title, Night of the Lone Wolf, is referring to our lead?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's not the type of guy that can accept help. You know, even though, you know, he could certainly use it. He's got a disability, but I think that's what's so cool about this one. They don't make you feel. They don't spend the whole movie making you feel sorry for this guy. It's not, like I said, I mean, there is a sadness to the character, but it's just not. It's not overdone. He's just a guy of his era. You know, I mean, I'm the son of a Vietnam vet who just takes care of business. You know, just kind of the last of a dying breed. You know, well, dying breed as far as World War II goes, I should say. But yeah, he's a Vietnam veteran. But it's I don't know. The performance was just so captivating, and same thing with Stakeland. Like I said, this actor could really jump into the upper echelon of horror genre actors. because he's got two classics now to his name, vampire and werewolf flicks. Yeah, I love everything about it. I mean, it's one of those ones. Anytime, I mean, obviously, you know where I'm going with my rating, but I always try and really look and say, okay, is this flawless? And for me, this one's flawless. The only thing I guess I could say is I wish with Tom Noonan in it that at one point he would have tried to kick the werewolf in the nuts so he could utter that. The classic Wolfman Scott Nards. I would have made an exception in tone for that one goofy joke, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. Otherwise, it's perfect.
Well, maybe they'll bring him in for Wolfcop 2 just for that, and then we'll see it over there.
Yes.
that would
He's
fit.
a sour bastard, though, apparently. I heard a couple reports that's on him at a convention where he was kind of throwing a bit of a fit, apparently, because he wasn't getting the business he was hoping to get. So I don't know. I can't confirm that one, but I heard that.
I don't think I've met him, so I don't know. You know, some shows we are complete agreement. This is another one of those. I think it's flawless too. I think it's better than some of the ones I've mentioned too. I mean,
yeah.
I know Silver Bullet's one of my favorites, but it's definitely a better film than Silver Bullet. I think that would, for me, just have some more nostalgia than a lot. But this definitely tops the list. It's a 5 for me.
5.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else there is to say on this one. It's really cheap on Amazon right now if you want to grab it. I want to say, I know it was down to 10, is that what we grabbed it? Yeah, I don't know if it still is, but if grab it. It's just an excellent flick, well worth the money. Even that, even if it wasn't $10, I'd say go run and grab it. It's definitely worth.
I could have spent $30 on this and been fine. I mean, it is worth it. It's one at least for me, I'll revisit. So.
Do I have to bring up my last week's film I spent $30 on? I'm still regretting that.
Yes, Massage Parlor of Death. Todd definitely regretted that one. I regretted the $7 on that one. So.
I know. This made up for it. I feel like I kind of balanced out this week. I had to go through the pain to get to the joy.
Unfortunately. So yes, 5 and 5. I mean, if you collect movies, I would recommend buying this one. Like I said, I mean, the only thing that I can throw out there is just people that have to have nonstop action. But I don't know, if you're a really diehard horror fan, I don't think that should always be the case. Cause, it's slow burn through the middle portion, but it definitely leads to something.
It may be a slow burn, but I mean, you're still involved in what's going on. It's
there's a payoff.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, and sometimes it can go horribly wrong. This one, horribly right. I don't know how else to say that, but it is definitely.
So, perfect review. One of the best. I know it's going to be one of the best of the year. I can even call it that in March. We will see at the end of the year.
Wait. We don't have a new Leatherface yet.
That is true. We will see, but they've got their work cut out for them if they want to top this. We'll see. Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
But, we'll get into our Walking Dead discussion. Again, this will slightly go into overtime. So, as always, spoilers, discussing the last episode. Walking Dead, Todd, what did you think?
I thought this was an excellent episode. It just keeps getting better as we move along.
Not everybody thinks so, though. It's like the zombie crowd. It's like we're not getting enough zombie action, which I hate that.
I don't know. Carol is the one not to be fucked with. I was like, damn, she gonna kill that kid right now.
For a second, I almost thought that little bastard was a goner.
Oh yeah, I know. They said on the on the Talking Dead, the joke, like for named Carol's Cookie Company, and I remember the winner was Look at the Flower. I thought I'd be dying.
Yeah, Carol. I mean, this was such a great social episode. I mean, it's just it's like I said. I mean, I said it even last week, but even more so this week. It's like people that are just coming home from war, that just literally like fucking hand-to-hand combat war, that are like coming back to a fucking potluck. I mean, there was so much interesting character stuff in this episode, and everybody kind of had a good moment in it. This was an episode where,
well, minus the kid,
you know. Yeah, oftentimes with Walking Dead, there are stretches where you will have a character you really like that's not doing much of anything. You know, T-Dog for the longest time before he got taken out is a good example. Even Daryl lately really hasn't had a whole lot to do this season. And everybody had a great moment. I think this was fantastic. From Carol making friends with the local magpies to the Daryl and the motorcycle thing. I think Rick obviously kind of showing maybe a governor side to a degree. Really going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I don't expect to see Rick go full on Patrick Bateman, but you never know. Carol, though, yeah, Carol Sasha with her PTSD flip out. But Carol gets the win on this one. That speech to the kid, especially how she or you can have cookies. You know? Yeah. I will tie you to a tree. No one will hear you scream. Well, someone will hear you scream. It's like, or you can have cookies. I still think the little shit though's gonna rat her out. I don't know.
Well, I was having a debate with my kid on this one, and he's like, it's happening. He's like, I would do it. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I guess I had to get that mentality.
As a kid, I think I would have too. I would have quietly have said something, but. Yeah, particularly for that kid, because you've got to assume he probably hasn't been too traumatized by the whole zombie thing. I mean, what are we into it now? 2.5 years or so?
Yeah, they were saying 2, so somewhere around there.
Okay, somewhere around there. Yeah, that kid I think is would tell his parents. I think that would be for the most part.
I think that's what'll set things off, probably.
Yeah. It is funny seeing the group a little more sinister, except, strangely enough, the 2 warriors. Daryl and Michonne seem to be fitting in pretty well.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because Daryl's been the one that was most standoffish, and now it seems like, not taking the gun, he wants to play by the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just so interesting. Like I said, seeing the different side of these characters, and the not enough zombies crowd is really pissing me off, though.
Well, I know. The one thing, I wonder what Merle would say about Daryl's new company. I don't think he
There's a really dark comedy. If Merle had survived, Daryl, Merle, Aaron, and forget the boyfriend's name off the top of my head, Eric, I think. That would have been particularly funny. I could just picture the laugh track and
Wait, okay, well, we are going to jump into the archive real quick, so I just want to, for all of our live listeners, say goodnight. Tune in Tuesday, Mike, for the calling hours. and we'll be back next week with more reviews. So just want to throw that out there real quick, and we're going to get back into our discussion. Sorry.
I don't know.
It's funny
Merle, they kind of bedazzle Merle's wardrobe or something. There's a lot of funny things that would have worked, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe Merle's got a twin brothers or something. I don't know.
That's in LA for the other Apocalypse or the other series. I know. Too bad if they would have killed him off, and they could have, had him show up over there. But it's funny because they've made a kind of a bigger deal about the gay characters coming on. We've already had them. I mean, it's weird because I don't know if it's a society. It's like, well, those are gay women characters. That's not the same. It's a gay man character now, so now it has to be a big deal. I think that's because you mentioned her earlier. We've had our gay character. It's not a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're making it
a
bigger.
Unless you give her a love interest, I mean, she's just like anybody else.
Exactly. So it's Oh well, people will make bigger deals out of it. I don't think it's a negative. They seem to have been very, no one's like.
I had a few people that were like, well, isn't it kind of obvious that they're just doing that to do it? And I'm like, well, but there hasn't been a gay character, and you've met a lot of people at some point. You're probably going to run into a gay character. I didn't view it as trying to get people to talk at all. I mean, it was just...
I didn't either.
Another guy out there, trying to survive. I don't think they made a huge point of it. I don't know how major those two characters are going to be. I think it's safe to say love interest, probably one of them is going to die by season's end.
Yeah.
But they seem to be likable characters so far. I think Aaron, of course, we've had more focus on, but I think he's a really good actor. I thought the whole thing with the horse, which apparently there's some comic winks and nods there. I'm not sure exactly what, but I thought that was a pretty cool moment.
I was just saying, a very good impressionist if you watch The Talking Dead.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, he had that down.
What do we have? 3 episodes left?
It shouldn't be more than 3. Yeah, maybe 2. I don't know.
I want to say that to the tag of the. I want to say the tag of the inch 3.
Okay, they did. Okay, I didn't pay attention.
I think so. They might have said 3 more till the season finale.
I know.
Yeah, they might have said 3 more till the season finale, which would actually be 4 more episodes. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to Sunday. It's been one of those seasons where it's like, damn, I got to wait a week.
I don't know. I've had a lot of arguments lately with people saying, "Oh, well, they're losing it," and I'm like, it's probably more original and fresh right now than it's been in a long time. I mean, they're going into territory we have not seen yet, and territory that, quite frankly, makes total sense. These characters, when you really look at it, and the fact that it's only been 2 years and change, perhaps, a lot of this fucked up shit that's happened to them technically has just happened, and they haven't had time to process it yet. So I think this portion of the show psychologically is very interesting because you don't just go through some of the shit that those people have been through and just be perfectly fine. That's not how it works, and I'm really interested. Like I said, Sasha, all these characters. I'm really interested to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm looking forward to. It's one of those situations. I don't know if we're going to get a full resolution this year, or we're just kind of going to leave there. I don't know. It seems like 3 or 4 episodes is already pretty quick to be out of there. And don't we have the Protectors? The Protectors are supposed to show back up because they're I don't know if they said or maybe they were discussing on Talking Dead.
I mean, the protection goal. I mean, it's the saviors in the comics.
Okay.
Like I said, they're a biker gang / cult sort of, paying people to protect them. I don't know. Now, in the show at this point, maybe they haven't come into it yet with this group. It would seem unlikely because apparently there's a few different sanctuaries that they protect, and obviously they don't do it for free. So I don't know. They might do it a little bit differently. I mean, I still feel there's more motive to the congresswoman for bringing them in the community and, maybe standing up to a particularly violent group of bullies may be that reason. I don't know that it's just because
being nice.
They have a less stellar protection force. There might. I don't know. We'll see. I can't tell how much they might deviate. But as far as the carvings on the head, somebody pointed out, is that a W or is that an M for Morgan?
I did not think about that. Yeah, that could be an M.
Yeah, a lot of people were pointing that out, that, it's all a matter of perspective.
Or Wolfcop. Or Wolfcop.
Or Wolfcop. Wolfcop, if it does well enough, they might make him a character. That would be pretty fucked up if all of a sudden you just see like a fucking werewolf pop out. They can kind of, Daryl can kind of do his crying face that's all over these different memes. And,
yeah. my favorite one was to take a shower in out of water.
Yeah. Doesn't look like he has yet.
No. Jeez. Oh, wow.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I kind of got thrown off with my Wolfcop comment. Yeah, that is true. Could be a W. But then, it was it, and I didn't go back and look, was it written on there or was it a stamp? Because, pretty much
it's carved in, from what I can tell.
Because then immediately after we had the big A stamp, I was like, is that a correlation? Or are they trying to tell us something? Because the little girl stamped him with the A, I believe it was the A.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the show's more interesting now. I mean, I've always loved the show. I mean, there really hasn't been any long stretch where I haven't enjoyed it, but now in particular, it's interesting that it's been in a long time, and there's a lot of, like I said, it's realistic. You're kind of seeing them flirting with being the bad guys to a certain degree. I mean, I'm not expecting them to start killing, raping, and maiming as they please or anything like that, but they have been affected, and not all for the better. So yeah. Todd, it sounds like you're breaking up a little.
Oh.
Hello?
Am I good now?
Yeah, now you're good. It just sounded like you had some interference there for a second. But
I was moving around a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, So that's, I guess, about everything I can think of for Walking Dead. I mean, and by the way, I should throw out here, anybody that listens, we do take calls. You're always welcome if you have Walking Dead, whether it's Walking Dead thoughts or review thoughts. If we're in the middle of a review, we might, have to wait till we finish to connect you. But we always welcome those, and particularly Walking Dead, too. So I know I post a lot of... Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll block out some time on for the finale, just so we can. We'll give out the number and stuff, and that way we're not running to the last minute. People like to do that for the finale. Yeah,
and at some point we may even have a guest reviewer come on. That's something that we might throw out there every once in a while, just to give a different perspective for you guys. So yeah. Well, I have got a date with some leftover Singapore rice noodles, and I don't know, I think I have some egg drop soup left too. Hopefully. We'll see. I might be surprised when I go up there, maybe not. I don't know, what's your evening ritual? I always say when I wrap the show on Thursday, usually if I wait on SmackDown, it's a non-mainstream title because I don't have to worry about the next round of reviews for a couple days. So I don't know, but I don't know if I have anything non-horror right now that I'm looking to pop in.
Yeah, I tend to try to do the same, or at least on Friday at the very least, depending on what I have going on. I also try to clear off the DVR and have some dinner when I'm done. I got to go return some videos and do some errands and grab some dinner.
You still rent videos?
Well, not
wow.
Not actual videos, DVDs.
I figured.
I had to rent The Life of Annie.
You rented what?
I had to get The Life of Annie.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you said The Life of Annie. I'm like, what the fuck's that? No, I know there's a new Annie flick.
Yes, the new blaxploitation version.
The black, yes. They needed Fred the Hammer Williamson in that, singing "It's a Hard Knock Life."
There you go.
No Pam Grier shower scene, I would assume in that. But hey, like I said, you'd be surprised. I mean, I know you are, and of course I am. We're film fans in general. I've always. Yeah. We've talked about it, I mean, for like 6 years, I swear. I've talked to Chris about it several times back in the day about doing a segment where we cover like just something that doesn't even fall in horror and sci-fi, just or cult or whatever, just like this is our, whether it's a comedy or a drama or and just a more mainstream action type flick that we would say this is our recommendation for the week. I don't think we'll do like a full-on review or anything, but that might be something. Maybe that's something we'll actually do when there's something out there. It's been out a while, but I will throw out Filth, James McAvoy, and that kind of almost almost fits for us. I like that movie a lot. So there you go. You got one for the week. And
yeah, I don't think I got. Oh, what? I was just saying I don't have anything.
Oh, no, I was just about to throw out anybody that doesn't care about it, you can cut out now. I have a rant that I'm going to keep to 1 minute, but I am going to make it now if you are a wrestling fan, just because Todd and I are in overtime now. So, you know. Todd, how bad is the fucking booking right now from WWE?
What, you don't like Wiz now?
No, I don't like. My God, and that is one. How are they not booking a singles match? And then it pissed me off even more when they're adding another fucking random multi-man tag match with fucking Los Matadores, who like not done shit the last year. It's such weird booking. I don't get it. I mean, last week when Miz slapped him and he kind of, and now it's like, I'm going to see you in the Battle Royal that nobody gives a fuck about and should be on the pre-show. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
what are you talking about? Look at all it did for. I was going to say Claudio.
Cesaro.
Thank you.
He might be Claudio at some point if they don't. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I love the tag team. It could be worse, but
yeah, it could be. But do you think Sheamus is coming back and winning it?
That would be pretty obvious, and at the rate they're going, I would say probably. So.
Yeah, they tend to go with the obvious. Yeah, I know. I am interested in some of the top matches, though, at least.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Sting first time, that's history making. There's a lot. There's a lot of no win. I mean, Bray Wyatt's Taker is no win as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but we got to talk about the Shockmaster voice. The Shockmaster voice for Sting.
Yeah.
There's been some debate whether it was actually his voice or not. It sounded like, if you really listen, it had his cadence, and it's just sounds like they were just trying to make it a little bit more, supernatural or something. But
I'm okay with the way they've booked Sting. I mean, I think him similar to the way they booked him, when he first kind of donned the Crow look, is a good idea. I do think there should have been more dates, though. I mean, I assume he's going to be on Raw. Oh, shit, how long are we now? I assume he'll be on Raw next week, or the final week, whatever. I don't even know what the timeline is anymore. But there needs to be more interaction, and nothing with Reigns and Lesnar. I'm like, he's on the show. You need to... I mean, I kind of see that we're holding off till the big show, but it's kind of like, okay...
You got 3 programs like that because you're not going to have a Taker out till Mania. You got Brock, who you have the opportunity to do something. He's actually there and then you have, Sting and Triple H. I mean, those are the 3 top programs, and half the guys aren't there. So guys are just doing promos against, video screens and stuff.
See, what I would have done last night is have Reigns and Lesnar in the opening segment, and somehow maybe have Ambrose or something at the end in a 6-man. Maybe have Lesnar come out and just destroy Ambrose or something, just to build a little bit of drama. And like I said, I wish Heyman could work at this point, but he can only do so much. It just doesn't feel like. It doesn't feel like a WrestleMania main event, and I'm glad Reigns is getting better reactions because I do think a lot of what happened with the Daniel Bryan thing wasn't his fault, but I don't know. It's just the booking lately. Ambrose, I should throw him out. They've really killed his momentum. Ziggler, now you figured they were going to do something special with him after the whole Survivor Series thing. Boom, he's in another fucking.
It's funny, and it's actually kind of true. People have been comparing this to like WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 21. Seems like after those big number shows, it kind of just they lose their mind or something. I don't know what happens. I mean, because 11, you kind of got Roman playing Diesel for this one. And then like 21, you had your 2 top guys, Guerrero and that other guy, and by 21 they were both in the opener or in opening matches. So and you kind of have that with this year with Daniel Bryan. I mean, Punk's gone. Although we didn't have Punk in WrestleMania last year either, so I guess you gotta forget that.
It's like, I don't know. It's like you're wasting Bryan in a ladder match, which, don't get me wrong, the ladder match might be the show stealer. It really might, and I mean, I'd rather them in a ladder match than just some random, 6-pack challenge or something. But they're just not taking advantage of anything.
It's definitely going to be the Money in the Bank, and they purposely put Cena in that. Middle title program also, because now people, someone says, well, look, why is Daniel Bryan in the fucking IC match? And then they're, well, look, we have our top guy, our face of this company, and he's in the U.S. title match. So you really can't complain that, DB's in the IC hunt,
Yeah, I mean, that's how they're presenting it, but it doesn't matter where Cena's at. Cena can be anywhere on the card, and until he retires, that feud is going to be a focal point. I actually am okay with Cena versus Rusev. I think that
I am too.
That totally makes sense for him. I do feel next year Fastlane is going to have to come up with some sort of a gimmick match at that time, so we don't get like all the rematches, for the show. Not that we're getting all rematches or anything, but I don't know. It just feels like Fastlane
is a complete.
Should still be. Yeah, I can understand Elimination Chamber not being there, but something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they finally do it.
Not while Kevin Dunn's in charge of the TV, because he says he doesn't look good on television.
Yeah, maybe not, but they need something special there. I don't know. I mean, all the Fastlane was a good wrestling pay-per-view. I think this will be a good wrestling pay-per-view for the most. There's a lot, like I said, Taker, Bray Wyatt. I don't know where they go there. I book Bray Wyatt to win it, quite frankly, and then set up Sting versus Taker, with Taker maybe teasing retirement and, coming out, sort of more of a Ric Flair situation where he has to win, and then making that the final one. Wyatt's another guy that they've killed, and Cena can be thanked for that, I think. But I still think he can get the momentum back.
I agree.
But anyway, that ran long enough.
It's been a long way since his husky hair days, at least.
Yeah, he has. He can't complain. I mean, he's had back-to-back pay-per-views of working with two of the top guys. So, even a losing effort, he's making money. So yes, that's all we have for you. If you are a wrestling fan and you stuck around for our rant, we appreciate it. But we will see you back next week. I know we'll have reviews for Muck, Mark of the Devil, and some other stuff we will announce. So thanks, guys. Oh, and I think we're cut out. Bye, guys.
I'm the Wolfcop. Yeah, there's a new cop in the streets. Half man, half wolf, pure beast. Patrol the town looking for trouble, man. Stuffing dead bodies in my duffel bag. Slice your face, rip the head off your body. Slam a cold boom, pump your body with the shotty. Drinking human blood in the sacrifice. Welcome to the seance, see you in the afterlife. No Teen Wolf, just a man with a taste for blood. Watch the barrel stop smoking when you choke on mud. Till you met me, you know what trouble was. Till I filled your jean jacket with a couple slugs. I'm cursed, with this curse, I'm a monster. Pissing on fire hydrants, foaming at the choppers. A hairy menace with a badge and a gun. Don't bother trying to hide, cause there's nowhere you can run from the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop. Don't try to hide from the wolf cop. Yeah, I'm the wolf cop.
Universal Studios Hollywood is introducing the California Neighbor Pass. For the neighborly price of just $119 online, you get over 200 days in the park. So swing by and share some laughs with your neighbors, like the Minions. Or Homer Simpson.
Donuts.
Even go on an adventure with Harry Potter.
Stay close and follow me!
Visit UniversalStudiosHollywood.com to get over 200 days of thrills, laughter, and wonder with the new California Neighbor Pass for $119 online. Pass valid for 9 months from selected first visit date. Blackout dates, restrictions apply.